Here's another sentence that sounds insane until you actually look at the numbers. Starbucks makes more money holding your cash than most banks do holding your savings account. Not a joke. Not an exaggeration. Let that sit for a second. Every time you load money onto a Starbucks gift card or app, you're not just buying future coffee, you're handing Starbucks an interest-free loan. And they're sitting on billions of dollars of it at any given moment from millions of people who forgot they even had a balance. So today, we're taking apart what Starbucks actually is underneath the coffee cups. The real estate strategy that quietly outthinks nearly every competitor on the corner. The loyalty program that functions like an unlicensed bank. And the reason a $5 latte is one of the most brilliant pricing decisions in modern retail. This one connects directly to the McDonald's video, by the way. Same underlying trick, completely different execution. Let's get into it. Let's start with location strategy, because Starbucks plays this game differently than McDonald's, and understanding the difference tells you a lot about how sophisticated this business actually is. McDonald's, as we covered, often owns the land and building outright, leasing it back to franchisees. Starbucks takes a different approach entirely, but it's arguably just as calculated. Starbucks conducts extraordinarily detailed foot traffic and demographic analysis before opening a single location. Commute patterns, income levels, even competing coffee shop density within walking distance. The company has, at various points, deliberately opened locations within a few blocks of each other in dense urban areas. Not out of carelessness, but because internal data showed that cannibalizing a small percentage of sales from one location was worth it if the total combined revenue across both locations, plus the convenience factor for customers, outweighed the overlap. Most business owners would never intentionally compete with themselves. Starbucks does it on purpose because the math says it works. Now let's talk about the actual coffee for a second, because even that isn't quite what it seems. The raw cost of the coffee beans, milk, and cup in a typical Starbucks drink is genuinely small, often just a modest fraction of what you're charged at the register. So why does a latte cost $5, $6, sometimes $7? Because you're not really paying for coffee, you're paying for the third place, a concept Starbucks has talked about publicly for decades. Not home, not work, but a third space in between, designed to make you comfortable enough to sit, work, meet a friend, or just exist for an hour. Free Wi-Fi, comfortable seating, consistent branding whether you're in Seattle or Singapore. That consistency and comfort is genuinely part of what you're paying for, layered on top of the actual beverage. Here's the number that really matters. Because the base ingredient cost is so low relative to the price, Starbucks enjoys remarkably strong margins on beverages, and every single customization, every extra shot, every syrup pump, every size upgrade adds pure incremental profit at almost no additional cost. Okay, this is the part of the video I promised you at the start, and it's genuinely the most surprising piece of the entire business: the Starbucks Rewards app and gift card system. When you load money onto your Starbucks app, say $25, that money doesn't sit in some magical coffee vault waiting for you to spend it. It becomes cash sitting directly on Starbucks' balance sheet, available for the company to use. Multiply that across tens of millions of active app users, many of whom keep a running balance loaded at all times, and Starbucks is sitting on a staggering amount of prepaid customer cash at any given moment, reported at times to be in the billions of dollars. Here's why that matters so much. That's essentially an interest-free loan from millions of customers to Starbucks. No bank interest paid to you, no fees charged to Starbucks for holding it. They can use that cash for operations, expansion, whatever they need, all funded, in part, by money you handed over voluntarily in exchange for a coffee you haven't even ordered yet. And here's the detail that makes it even better for the company. A meaningful percentage of loaded gift card and app balances are never actually redeemed. People lose cards. People forget about small remaining balances. People load $20, spend $18, and never spend that last $2. In accounting terms, this unredeemed balance is sometimes referred to informally as breakage, and for a company processing this much prepaid volume, even a small percentage of permanently unspent balance adds up to real, recognized revenue that required no product to ever change hands. Quick reminder of why this actually matters to you, not just as a fun fact. This is exactly why loading a big balance onto that app, for convenience, is genuinely a worse financial decision than it feels like in the moment. You're giving an interest-free loan to a company worth tens of billions of dollars, and there's a real chance some of it never even gets spent. There's a second layer to the rewards program that's arguably even more valuable to Starbucks than the interest-free cash itself. Data. Every single purchase made through the app gets tracked. What you order, when, how often, which location, what modifications you make. This creates one of the most detailed consumer behavior datasets in the entire retail industry. Starbucks can predict, with genuine precision, exactly which customers are likely to respond to a specific promotion, at exactly which time of day, at exactly which location. Personalized offers sent through the app aren't random generosity. They're precision targeted based on your specific purchase history, designed to nudge your behavior in a direction that increases your spending, your visit frequency, or both. The $5 latte is genuinely just the visible transaction. The real value being extracted is happening in the data layer, running quietly underneath every single purchase. So let's connect this all together, because there's a common thread running through everything we've covered. The coffee itself has strong margins, but it's not actually the most interesting part of the business. The real sophistication is layered on top. The strategic, sometimes self-competing real estate placement. The pricing built around comfort and consistency rather than just the beverage. The prepaid balance system functioning as a quiet, interest-free financing tool, and the data engine turning every transaction into future targeted revenue. This is genuinely why Starbucks gets studied in business schools far more often than most restaurant or retail chains. It's not really competing as a coffee shop anymore. It's operating simultaneously as a real estate strategist, a financial services company, and a data analytics firm that happens to sell coffee as the customer-facing product tying it all together. Same underlying trick as McDonald's in a way. The visible product, burgers, coffee, is never quite the whole story. It's the entry point into something much larger and much more sophisticated running underneath it. So the next time you tap your phone to pay for a latte, understand what's actually happening in that moment. You're paying a healthy margin on a beverage engineered around comfort and consistency, potentially topping up a prepaid balance that functions as a free loan to a massive corporation, and generating a data point that will be used to precisely target your next purchase decision. Starbucks isn't really a coffee company. It's a real estate strategist, a bank, and a data company, wearing a green apron. If this changed how you look at your next coffee run, hit subscribe. We break down the real economics hiding underneath everyday businesses every single week. What should we tear apart next? Drop it in the comments. Disney or Amazon? You tell us. See you in the next one.